everyone. Thank you so much for tuning back in today. You are listening to Society Bites Radio. And my name is Jillian Beth. I am an intuitive healer and coach on a mission to empower women by reconnecting them to their inner wisdom. And I'm really excited to have Bonnielee back today. Definitely make sure you stay tuned until the end. She has a very special gift for all of you. And if you missed last week's show, do go and head over and check that out. We talked all about a vow and commitment to self-love. We had a really cool conversation. So if you missed it, definitely go check it out. A little bit about her, if you did miss her on last week's show, Bonnielee has dedicated her life to supporting fellow women, her soul sisters. And her company, Beautifully Free, awakens women's fierce self-love and wild freedom through spirituality. She is also a creator, often collaborating on projects with the women healers and creators that she admires. She's been featured on many, many things, including Spiritual Boss Babe podcast, Women on Purpose, StartDis Podcast. She's been in magazines, Modern and Alternative Health, BuzzFeed, Tiny House, and she has been a speaker at the United Tiny House Festivals. So if you're not getting it already, she actually lived in a tiny house, which I think is so incredibly cool. She is a proud homeschooling mom, and she spent actually half a decade living a minimalist life in an off-the-grid tiny house homestead. She continues to advocate for eco-friendly and minimalist lifestyles and has future plans to return to that kind of living. She is also an avid volunteer and advocate for raising awareness for mental health and other important causes affecting women and their families. So thank you for coming back this week, Bonnielee.
Thank you so much for having me again. It's such a joy to talk to you.
Yay! Yeah. And I always love these shows. Whenever I have women doing anything in business, I want to pick their brains because I love working with women. And I absolutely believe that it is different being a woman in business. And I just want to really promote that and inspire other women in any way I can. So I'm excited for today's show with you.
Thank you, as am I.
Yeah. So why don't we start with tell us a little bit about what you got interested in doing, what you're currently doing for a living.
Sure. So my work started in wellness and health. So in fitness and teaching women to really take care of their bodies from the inside out, related to, again, your health, your physical health. And healing has been embedded in my DNA since I was a little girl from my paternal grandmother and my maternal grandmother. So, I saw like my paternal grandmother just with herbs and herbalism and just very old school. And these were things that were passed down generation to generation. Also, the spirituality and the spiritual work she did with people around her is not something that she charged for. This, she was sought after for her expertise. And then my grandmother as well, just see my maternal grandmother, seeing her as well and growing up with her spiritual work that she did as well, it was embedded in who I was. And again, these were things that were passed down. So over the past couple of years, I've begun to focus on spiritual work and, empowerment and really sacred rituals for women because, I think that women are really reverting and going back to a place where, they want to be whole and in harmony with themselves. And that starts with, mind, body, soul.
Absolutely. And I love that it's such a generational thing in your family. I mean, talking about herbs and everything else, I'm like, that is so incredibly cool.
Yeah, it was really neat to see that growing up and be a part of that. And just, like my paternal grandmother would do, teacup readings.
Yeah.
It was in our culture, and it was something that was very sacred and something that, people really came and wanted that and really held on to the wisdom that she was giving them. And it was very empowering for people because it taught them to trust their own intuition. And that's really important in the process.
Absolutely. I would say it's a foundational piece for sure.
Definitely.
So speaking of trusting and foundations, what have been some of your biggest learning lessons?
So I am very big on failing, and I have probably
Love it.
failed more times than I have succeeded, but it's taught me perseverance.
Yeah.
It's taught me to fight for the things that I believe in. It's taught me when to let go. It's taught me, that sometimes you are your own best advocate. People are going to think you're crazy, or people are not going to really believe in what you're doing. And sometimes it's your closest family members or friends or people that you really trust. And, you need to be your own best cheerleader. It's taught me a lot about money, a lot of things. I didn't grow up with financial management and being really good with money. It's something that I had to teach myself. And that's really important as a business owner to know where your money's going, to know how to save, to know how to leverage what you have and see where you need to make and adjust so that way you're profitable,
hmm
and knowing when to get help and not do it all. Knowing when to get coaching help as well. It's totally okay to say, you know what, I don't know how to do this and I'm struggling right now. I need techniques and strategies to succeed.
Yes, most definitely. I I've truly, once I invested in coaching, I understood that investing in a program, a mentor, a coach, or whatever, it's an investment in yourself
Mhm.
through this other individual program, whatever it may be. And what better investment can you ultimately make than the one in yourself? Because it really does have a ripple effect in every single area of your life.
Absolutely. And, one thing that I tell people that are women that want to become entrepreneurs or on their entrepreneurial journey is, let's say you don't have a budget to work with a certain coach. Well, follow them on social media or sign up
Right.
for their newsletter, because they really have some really neat information that you're going to get access for free. And then
hmm
every coach that I've ever known, even if their retainer is quite high, has a low end package and usually has, a payment plan. So when you're able to level up, sign on to that and continue to level up until you're able to afford their services. So you still can get that knowledge. Um, and it strengthens you. It's wisdom, and it's knowledge that it's a journey that they have been on, and some of that information
hmm
is incredibly valuable. And know that you're going to make your own mistakes, and again, trusting your own intuition, and it's okay to say, take what you need and then dump the rest.
Leave the rest. Yeah, I'm glad
Mhm.
you brought that up because I know that is a sticking point for some people. Well, how am I going to invest in that when I don't have the funds available? So
Mhm.
I'm grateful that you mentioned there are other ways that you can still glean information from them, right? And work your way up to, I guess, working with them in the manner that you really want.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen, like $7 packages for things. And, $7 is, you skip a cup of coffee for a few days and you're able to get
Right.
access to this, and creating a really solid business plan. And I don't necessarily mean a traditional business plan, but taking those fundamentals and applying them in a really innovative and really new way. Because you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you are or where you've
Mhm.
been. So taking all of these things into account and setting yourself up for success. I also think that we want to have, like the 4-hour work week per se. We want to not work. But the truth is that you are going to have to do the work at the very beginning so that you can enjoy
Yeah.
that lifestyle later on. So, it is going to be 40, 50-hour work weeks. But you also have to remember that you have flexibility in your life and you're able to, work a little in the morning and work later in the evening. So you still have flexibility, but you are going to have to make that commitment to succeed.
Oh, absolutely. You have to, what is the saying? Do now what others won't so that you
Mhm.
can do later what others can't.
Yes, there's my son is starting a startup, and we've sort of been just, you know, in planning mode. And I had him read a book, and one of the things in the book that there was an experiment, and I may not have it completely accurate, but the experiment was that the marshmallow experiment, like they gave children a marshmallow and they said, do you want to eat this now, or if you wait, a couple of minutes or an hour, you'll get like 3 extra later. And
Right.
a lot of the children would eat that one marshmallow now, and very few waited just, a few minutes, and they had more. And
Yeah.
the book was applying that to business and succeeding. And sometimes we want it right now because we are instant gratification. And if
Mm-hmm.
you wait just a little bit longer, you are going to see the fruits of your labor. And that is also in regards to pushing through, because sometimes you're like, this isn't working. I've been at this for 6 months and I am not succeeding. And that's just when, it's starting to push through. So hang on.
Yes. Yes. Oh, so good. Love, love, love that.
Thank you.
Now, Bonnielee, do you have any special spiritual practices or rituals that you do that you could share with the audience?
I do. I really like to manifest things in my life. And that starts with the ritual starts with meditating on that, but also setting it in stone. So whether it's a visual, however you want to do it, it has to be in front of you every morning, every night, and it's something that you're focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
I have done not like vision boards, but like, taking a sheet and putting everything, sort of like a vision collage and putting that in a frame. And it's there every morning when you see it and every night when you end the day. But so visualization, it has to be something that you're going to visualize and manifest and meditate on and focus on because that's what you want to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Also, really developing a practice of prayer, and this applies to so many things, because I know the last time I was on your show, we discussed that as well for self love. But yeah, you
Yeah.
have to develop these small, simple steps for success. And I also like, either attending a circle or, you know, a meet, whether it's a gathering, but of fellow-minded women that are on similar journeys where
Yes.
even if you've developed it yourself, it's just, it's kind of like church for you guys. And you're
Mm-hmm.
meeting every week and you're saying what you've struggled with and you're saying what you want to see happen in your life and you're holding space for each other and you're meditating together and you're praying together and for me prayer is not it's much larger than that. It's spiritually based, not religion based. And these things really help. It helps you push through just when you're about to give up.
They definitely do. Having that constant, whether it is you're going to church every week or you're meeting with your women's circle once or twice a month or
Mhm.
whatever, it's having something to put your energy into that's fostering the expansion or the possibilities that are available. It's very important.
It is. And, you want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. And
Mhm.
I don't focus, I'm not a religious person. My journey has been very spiritually based. And I believe that, all religions hold truth. So I take what what feels good to me and what's essential for me and what gives me strength and what I can, sort of gift to others as well. And that's really
Yeah.
helpful. So again, surrounding yourself with like-minded women that you're able to push each other.
And if everybody would just do that, right? Whatever that is for you.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, speaking of surrounding yourself with women, what do you think are some of the advantages of being a woman in business?
That we are definitely, even the strongest of women, are incredibly compassionate
Yeah.
and we really do find